Hello, I'm Maxine Harley, your mind healer, helping you to become a better parent, a better partner and a better person by healing your own emotional wounds first. I want to share with you some of my thoughts about sleep and insomnia. You probably know insomnia really isn't good for your health, and it also makes you feel pretty rotten too. There's lots of advice out there about helping you to sleep, and that usually includes soothing music, nice smells, lighting candles, the temperature of your room, avoiding electrical equipment in your room, and all of that is valid and helpful. But what it misses out on is what's going on in the brain. Because if your brain is working too quickly, then you're not going to be able to sleep. You can't think and sleep at the same time. So a little bit about brain waves. Now, predominantly we have 4 different types of brain waves, and the one associated with sleep is called delta, the delta frequency. It's very slow. If you imagine 0 to 4 hertz or cycles per second. The one just above that is theta frequency, and that's from 4 to 7 cycles a second. And that's kind of imagery and just ready to drift off to sleep. Above that we have the alpha brainwave frequency, and that's 7 to 12 cycles a second, and it's associated with calm awareness and the meditative state. Then comes beta frequency, the one we're in too much of the time. This is 13 to 30 cycles a second, and obviously we need to be able to be in beta frequency when we're dealing with everyday situations, but it can run too fast too much of the time, particularly in the higher ranges, when we're worrying and we're panicking and we're overthinking. And if you imagine the frequencies are far too fast, and there's no way you're going to be able to sleep when your brain is working at such a high rate. So we have to learn how to calm and soothe the brainwave frequencies down from beta to alpha to theta, and then to the sleep state of delta. When we are worrying too much, it helps to create a stressful situation in our bodies, and that can create more cortisol. And that can kick in first thing in the morning and wake us up at 2 and 3 and 4 in the morning, and we can't get back to sleep again, and we're worrying about things and we've got so much on our mind. A good idea to do at this time, and I do this myself, is to have a pen and paper handy near to your bed. You can jot down the ideas that come into your mind, ready to look at them again in the daylight for however long it takes you to deal with them at that time, but not when you're trying to go to sleep. It's important to leave your worries in a box to be looked at for a quarter of an hour in the daylight hours only. You need to control your mind. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system, which is always firing out random ideas and images that your brain then latches onto and starts to work with and try and make sense of. There's one thing I want you to really remember when you're trying to get yourself to sleep, and that is the need to calm down your brain and calm down your body. Now, there's something I have created. It's called a beer for bedtime. It's nothing to do with having a drink of beer. And it's on page 63 of my book, The Ripple Effect Process, which you can buy from Amazon in paperback or hardback, or you can actually get from my own website, maxineharley.com, in a PDF format. Now, it's page 63, as I recall, yes, 63. And it goes into greater detail. But if you think of BEER as an acronym, and the first B is for the breath. And what I want you to do is to slow down your breath and also breathe into the back of your throat. It's tricking your brain into thinking you're closer to sleep than you really are. And the first E is for your eyes, and I want your eyes to be down level with your nose. It's kind of the off position, which is why you probably fall asleep in bed when you're reading, because your eyes are down here. Okay, so your eyes will be closed, but to bring your eyes down level with the end of your nose. The second E is for emptying the mind. And what I want you to do is, if any thoughts pop into your mind, and they're bound to do that because that's what they do, is to imagine just blowing them away on that outgoing breath. So as you're breathing out, blowing those thoughts away and keeping your mind empty. And finally, the R is relaxing your body. I want you to imagine that you are sunbathing or soaking in a lovely hot bath, and how relaxed your body feels, and to bring that state to you when you're trying to get to sleep. Now, it's important to repeat this BEER process regularly, particularly in the early days, because you'll probably find that your eyes go up again and you're thinking about things. And if so, don't give yourself a hard time. Practice makes perfect. Just start again with your breathing. Start again with lowering the eyes and emptying the mind and relaxing the body. Okay. I've also created a video about mind control, which will explain a little bit more about what's going on in the different parts of the mind and why it's so difficult to turn it off. But in the meantime, have a beer for bedtime and I wish you a very good night's sleep.